Can Stephenie Meyer guide yet another genre through the Harlequin romance filter? You're watching Beyond the Trailer's review of The Host.
Almost every human has been successfully occupied. We could be taken at any moment. When we occupy this host, our memories will lead us to the resistance.
No matter what you might think of Twilight, nobody can deny that author Stephenie Meyer was pretty darn clever to come up with the idea of taking male-oriented genres and giving them a Harlequin romance twist. First, she turned vampires and werewolves into a $3 billion-plus chick franchise, and now she looks to do the same with sci-fi. And she even ups the ante, where instead of a love triangle, the host features a love square, complicated by the fact the two women share the same body. That's right, ladies. If you want to have sex with two different guys at the same time, just tell them you're schizophrenic. Wait a minute. Sex at the beginning of a Stephenie Meyer franchise? Yes, while Edward wouldn't have sex with Bella unless they were married, Jared has no such rules for sleeping with Melanie. Apparently, if the whole world has gone to hell, so can the Mormon decency that's made Meyer famous. That doesn't mean the host doesn't have a message, though. Meyer says this time it's all about dealing with body image and how you should just be happy to have one, no matter what it looks like. That said, they have cast Saoirse Ronan in the lead role and not Rebel Wilson. Speaking of Wilson, word is she's in talks to star in the final Hunger Games installment Mockingjay, a franchise which exists as a direct result of Twilight. Turns out while Hollywood has had more misses than hits trying to duplicate the success of Alice in Wonderland, they've had a much easier time with this new young adult genre, or at least two mega hits with Twilight and the Hunger Games. Will The Host be the third? Open Road would certainly be eager to have the influx of cash, hopeful that this franchise could put them firmly on the map as Twilight did for Summit. And they're minimizing their risks as they follow the Twilight and Hunger Games playbooks in detail, from casting a thespian heavyweight like William Hurt to enlisting an experienced yet cheap director like Andrew Niccol. Cheap because he doesn't have any hits. Yeah, I said minimizing the risks, not eliminating them. Now let's go see if Open Road has their hit. Are you Twilight fans?
Of course.
Yes?
I am.
Are you?
Yeah, I am.
My wife is a Twilight fan.
Oh, okay. All right.
But it was okay.
Is your wife
I
a
like
Host fan?
I'm not sure she's a Host fan.
Well, what made you come see this movie today?
I saw the previews. I thought it was going to be interesting to see.
Yeah. What was it?
I like it.
So are you now Host fans?
I'm a big Host fan. I read the book first.
Oh, okay.
So.
How about you?
I didn't read the book, but I think I am going to read it after I've seen the movie.
How
it was a good movie until I fell asleep.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Was it the movie's fault you fell asleep?
Actually, no, it wasn't. I was up late. So.
Oh, okay.
I think it was interesting. I like the theme of her having two holes in the head.
Oh, yeah?
Alien and like science fiction. So I think it was interesting.
Would you call this sci-fi? Would you call this science fiction?
I think it was a mix of science fiction and romance.
How did you like using the sci-fi genre here? How did that work?
I'm the biggest sci-fi fan in the world.
Oh, you are? Okay, good. How about you?
Yes, I'm a big sci-fi fan, but she's the biggest.
Was it enough sci-fi?
Are you kidding me? It was great.
What would you say to other guys who were like, I don't know, I hated Twilight. I don't know if I should see The Host.
I didn't hate Twilight, but I recommend that they could see it. I mean, I think they will love it. Some guys will love it, especially they come with couples. So you know.
Yeah. Oh, so it's a couple
Definitely.
movie they can watch, right?
Definitely.
Are you Team Jared or Team Ian?
I was Team Ian. She was Team, because we said that in the movie theater.
Okay. So you're Team Ian. How are you? You're
Team Jared. I'm
oh,
sorry.
interesting.
He was hotter.
What would you give the film on a 1 to 10?
8.
I give it an 8. It could have been more hot guys in it. A little shirtless, a little Jacob action going on. But it was 8. It was 8. I give it an 8.
What do you give it?
An 11.
I'm also on Team Ian. Yes, I saw The Host in advance, so this is going to be a mixed review, which some of you have been asking for, where you guys just saw some audience perspective, and now you're going to get a quick review from me for The Host. I will say, at the end of the movie, it did drag me into like the love plot line. I was kind of like, oh, who's she going to end up with? I cared, and I did like Ian a lot as a character, so I was rooting for him. And I liked Saoirse Ronan as well. I thought she was really likable in the role. But if you don't like The Hunger Games and you don't like Twilight, I mean, this is cut from the exact same cloth. And I feel these movies work so hard on developing the romantic storylines, but they do so little to develop the world that these movies take place in. This is a similar complaint that I had for Hunger Games. There's just so little world building. Like in the movie, one of the funniest things is that there's the store they go to, and it's just called Store. It just says store really big on the side of it. And I'd say that is just perfectly indicative of the amount of effort put into world building in these films. So if you can see, people who like Twilight and like those Hunger Games, they like this movie. So, it'll be interesting to see if it scores at the box office, even somewhere near those two films. But if you don't like shows on the CW, if you're more into sci-fi than romance, I think that, The Host is, I think, a really good rental. I mean, if you rent, I think it's like the first Twilight. I rented the first Twilight, and I was like, oh, that's actually not so bad. And then when I saw them in theaters afterwards, I was like, yeah, it's pretty bad. So I would say the same for The Host. If you rented it or caught it on TV when it was airing, you'd be like, oh, not bad. So that's what I would say. Overall, I would give The Host a 6, which makes for an overall score, factoring in mine and the audience reviews, of an 8. So what did you think of The Host? Be sure to write your thoughts down below. And as always, thank you for coming to Beyond the Trailer. I'm here at AMC Empire 25, and I hope you'll check out these other episodes.